Well, hello, everybody. There you are. Can you all hear me now? Hey, everybody. Can you all hear me now? Is this working correctly? Yes, it is. Very good. Awesome sauce. Hey, guys. I am so glad to see you all here. Cool. All right. Well, we're up and running, and it looks like it's working for a change. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Man, I see all the kids are here. Everybody. Wow, I'm so glad to see you all. This is really cool. Okay, well, we've got a lot to cover today. Looks like we've got about, I don't know, 16, 17-second delay, which is about normal. Folks, if you want to ask me questions, please do it in all caps so that I can catch them. I am working by myself today. Just the three of us, me, myself, and I, well, and the dog. So if you want to ask me a question, put it in all caps, and I will get to them just as quickly as I can. Big Bear, I knew you was going to ask, son. Here it is. The interior of my car is soaked. Sorry to hear that, Palmetto. You're down there in the storm. Yep. Decided to wear the hat for a little bit just for Big Bear, but I can't wear it too long because it is way too hot. So just know that. Dog, get. I will beat your butt today. Leave the table alone. Lily's on a rip, just so you guys know. So if the camera's shaking, it's because she's messing with my table here. Anyhow, Big Bear, I thought you might want to see that. What this is, it's a combination of different things. It's got wolf hair. It's got Wolverine, which is what the front is. And then the inside is lined with sheared beaver. So it's nice and soft against your face. Up here in Alaska, one of the things you're looking for in a hat is you want the long guard hairs. So that when this is tied around your face, those long guard hairs protect your face from the weather. So, and these are just there to tie it closed on you. Big Bear wanted to see the hat again. Well, there you go. I can't wear it this time of year. It's just too hot. Fact is, I don't put that hat on until we get below -20. It's just too hot, and I sweat too much with it on. How many months do you have cold weather? Well, Nana, it was 32 degrees yesterday, 33 degrees this morning. Although it really warms up nicely. I think it's probably about 75 outside right now. Certainly that inside the cabin here. It'll be cold like this from now till March, April. We'll get snow on the ground here in a couple weeks, and we'll have snow on the ground until we get into April. We did have frost on the pumpkin the last 2 mornings in a row. Brad, love the heated handlebars. Hey, up here, you need those heated handlebars. Keep your hands warm. Timothy wants to know, where in Alaska am I? Timothy, I am in Willow, Alaska, at the very north end of Willow, Alaska, before you get into Talkeetna. Dog, get away from the table. I'm going to have to beat the dog to death here in a little bit because she's being just difficult. So don't look at me like that. Go kennel. Jeez. I should have put her in her kennel a long time ago, and I didn't. So, well, we got a lot of stuff to cover, so I kind of want to get into it. I put out a lot of good videos this week. A lot of them. I did 11 videos in 7 days. So for those of you guys out there that tell me that you don't hear from me often enough, I'm doing more than one a day. So I'm trying to keep things going. Banana Grandma wants to know if I can see Sarah Palin from my back porch. Fortunately, no. I can't see anybody from my back porch. She just wants your lap. Yes, the dog wants to get in my lap, that's for sure. Just before you put the flashing up, before you piss off PETA. Blocked by channel blacklist. Okay. I'm not sure what that was about. Block the channel, blacklist, change settings. I'm not too worried about PETA. PETA doesn't have a real good reputation up here in Alaska. They went after a bunch of dog mushers and pretty much got run out of most of the state. This is Alaska, folks. We don't tolerate that kind of nonsense up here. I don't know what happened to reset Palmetto Paratroopers post. I've never seen that before. Kitty says his post was blocked because of a word he used. Okay, well then there you go. All right, so I did a bunch of videos this week. Started out with planning out, the tips. We did the 5 tips for homesteaders. So this week I had 3, 4, and 5, and it had to deal with planning out your homestead, making sure you were legal and not doing something you shouldn't be doing on the land. I did a thank you video. I went to the farm market. I heard a lot of folks comment that they enjoyed going to the farm market. Kitty said it was blocked by YouTube's blacklist. Wow. I wonder why it would have been blocked by YouTube's blacklist. I didn't read the whole post, or maybe it went by too fast. I'll try to, I won't catch it later. Oh, that reminds me, I'm going to do something. I meant to do this last week. I'm setting my little session camera up, and I'm setting it here so it can videotape the screen while I'm doing my live stream. That way I can play the video back and see all the comments that I missed. Little bit of video production ingenuity. He said a word that's blocked, Grandpa. Continue NVM. Okay. I use a slang word for urinate. Yes, the work for urinate. Okay. I didn't know you couldn't say that on here, but I guess that's one of the heavy 7. One of the 7 words can never be used on television. Anyhow, to go on. So I did a video on the farm market. I think a lot of folks enjoyed watching that one. I really went through pretty quickly. And you have to understand, I was really actively involved in the farm markets up here in Alaska. I started one down in Palmer that still runs today. So I was usually the market manager, which put me in a different relationship with the folks than just somebody coming through. And it's kind of hard to step back from that role and just be a customer coming through now. So I felt a little uncomfortable actually going through there like that. But anyhow, I did a video on gardens and growing, not my strong suit. I don't do much about that. I did a video about not playing with your food. Everybody else did 5 tips. I did a 6th one, but that's because I tend to be a bit of an overachiever. I did a video about going out and buying tires. For those of you that asked, I did buy the BF Goodrich tires, not the, what were the other ones I was going to get? The Michelins. I didn't get the Michelins. I did a video on crime and punishment. I was at the store. I was at Sportsman's Warehouse, and some girl came in there and tried to shoplift some stuff. And I made the mistake of calling her a hillbilly. Well, folks, let me tell you, there are hillbillies and then there are hillbillies. I'm a hillbilly to a great degree. Spent most of my life in Southeast Ohio. That's Appalachia, folks. So I didn't say it as a derogatory thing. And, you can be hillbilly-ish by your behavior, not necessarily just because you happen to live someplace where there's hillbillies. Anyhow, I caught a lot of flack for it. And for those of you that took offense to me calling this woman a hillbilly, I apologize. But let me tell you, I saw more than just her. I saw her and her boyfriend and their vehicle and the way they behaved and the way they talked to one another. It was just, they were just plumb ignorant. So anyhow, my apologies for using the H word. Then I did a Frost on the Pumpkin video the other day. I don't know how many of you guys saw that. My new toy. Bought myself a Polaris quad, a 570 EFI, a bright hunter orange one. It's a lot of fun. I've taken it on a couple runs already. I shot some video and I've put up some of that. I got a lot more coming up pretty soon. Brad, that was my question. What's wrong with a hillbilly? I have nothing wrong with a hillbilly, but some people take offense to it or they misinterpret it. Folks, there's a whole lot of people misinterpreting just a whole lot of stuff these days. Everyone just needs to chill out and mind their own business. Frankly, that's Grandpa's rant for the day. Anyhow, and then I did an Alaskan moment. I shot some video footage of Denali that was shot right over here around the corner from my place. Just a real pretty scene, and I hope you guys kind of enjoyed watching that. Then I also went out and I shot some skeet, and I did a video about me shooting some skeet, and I caught some crap for that too. Apparently there's people out there that, like skeets and don't like to see them hurt. And I'll be the first to tell you that no skeets were hurt in the making of that video, okay? In fact, I've got a follow-up video coming up very soon where I'm actually showing people how to barbecue and prepare skeets properly for a good meal. You got to put them in the secret grill, and you got to add the secret sauce to them, and you can make those skeets pretty darn good tasting. Now, some guys did ask what I use to shoot the skeet, so let me show you my other toy. Last week, I introduced you guys to my lever action. This is my little Beretta. It's a 686 Sporting and 20 gauge. It's great on skeets. It did a wonderful job with them. I like shooting 20 gauge. I actually preferred 28 gauge, but that was the only one I could find at the time. Only whiny kids would be pissed about skeet shooting. Yeah, I agree. Some people were upset about me shooting them poor defenseless skeets out there. But anyhow, I've got a great barbecue recipe coming up and a video coming out on that. I'm actually going to do a good video where I'm going to barbecue the skeets on a charcoal grill. And you guys will be able to watch that. It should tickle your fancy a little bit. Now, while we're talking about this, I want to talk a little bit about my sponsor today. No, I'm kidding. It's not really a sponsor. I just had to throw that in after all the drama that went on this week. So when you're thinking about stuff, just consider this. No, it's not a sponsor. I don't have sponsors. I just have fun stuff. I did want to talk to you guys about this, however. Have you guys checked these things out yet? Have you seen these? They have these little French's onions, that they make with the green beans or whatever. Jalapenos. Little jalapenos. These things are awesome. I really enjoyed them. I thought they were really good, so I thought you guys would get a kick out of them. Oh, and by the way, the dog Lily is brought to you by these. You notice the table shaking? This is how I bribe Lily to get away from the table. Because she loves these little chicken snacks. So I just rain the floor of the cabin with them and keep her busy for a while. So the dog is brought to you by these chicken snacks. Or rather, she's brought away from you by those chicken snacks. Oh, well, too much fun. Too much fun. Okay, couple things coming up. A change of plans here again. For man, my plans get knocked all asunder all the time. But a little bit of change of plans for me today. As a lot of you guys know, I was going to put on the cabin edition, put in the bathroom and put a kitchen on the front and do all that. Well, let me tell you, that's not going to happen. And the reason why that's not going to happen is because it was going to cost me, $30,000 or so, and then doing all the labor myself, I could build it and add it on. However, when we get divorced, as I'm in that process, we would have to appraise the property, which of course now would be worth, $60,000 more than it is now, and I got to give half that to my wife. I'm not going to spend $30,000 and work all winter building something and then have to pay for it again to give it away, give half of it away to her. It just becomes too expensive. So guess what? I'm just going to stick with the outhouse and the way I'm doing things. Live this way up here for years. I can continue doing it for another 6 months. I did find a lady that's interested in buying the property 6 months from now. So things are looking really good with getting that done, and we might be able to get out of here pretty quickly. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. I got to do a bit of a rant. I was getting some flack from some folks because of my spending. Because I'm buying guns and toys and four-wheelers. Well, I'm not putting the kitchen and bathroom edition on, so I might as well have some fun while I'm up here. I got to be stuck up here for 6 months. I'm just going to have a whole lot of fun. But I did want to tell you guys, excuse me. No, it's not Diet Pepsi. This drink is brought to you by Pellegrinos. If you haven't checked these things out, do them. They are delicious. No preservatives, no GMO, all natural. They're good. Carbonated, I like them. Fruit juice. Carbonated fruit juice. That's all it is. Anyhow, I got to go on a bit of a rant. I make money, folks. I work hard. I'm a real estate broker, and I'm pretty successful at it. I know I dress like a clown most of the time, and I have fun doing my videos and stuff. And I am hoping to develop that into my new occupation. But in the meantime, I'm a real estate broker, and I work hard. I work hard, and I make good money. I make real good money. And so I can afford to go out and do this stuff and help out my family and do all the things that grandpas should be doing. And I'm not going to apologize for it. I know there's a lot of folks out there having a hard time financially. I've been there. I've done that. I've had a hard time too. But right now I'm doing fine. I'm working hard. And it's surprising how much better you will do when you work hard. So if you're not living the life you want, then change what you're doing. Start doing something more productive. Life's simple. It really is. I mean, life can be hard, but life's pretty simple. Get an education, get a job, work hard, make money. It's that simple. There's other things that people might want to go out and be doing. Certainly I do most of the time. But I make good money, so I can afford to go out and get myself toys, and I can buy a new truck, and I can do what I need to do. So I just had to go on a little bit of a rant because some folks were complaining about that. I know a lot of the folks, especially in this genre on YouTube, are having a tough time financially. And, you know, if what you're doing isn't working, I just got into a big conversation with my son about this very day, actually, and I know he's in the chat listening. You know, when you just can't spend more than what you make. I know our government sets a real bad example in this regard. They just spend and spend and spend. But the truth is, folks, we the people have to set the example for those idiots in Washington. You need to have good fiscal management of your own income and expenses, and then you've got a right to complain about the idiots in Washington and what they're doing. So, oh, let's not start that again, dog. Be quiet. There you go. Go in the kennel. Anyhow, don't procrastinate. I see a lot of people out there wanting to do stuff. This is my bad thing, to be honest with you. This has been my weakness my entire life, is procrastination. I have to do something, and I will figure out every excuse and everything I can find to distract myself or do something that other than what I really should be doing. And it's my issue. You know, people say they got to work on themselves. You know, this is a thing I got to work on for me, is I procrastinate. I've been really good about it. I've been doing the do. That's my saying. I do the do. I've been concentrating on what I need to do. I focus on it. I make a plan of action, and I work that plan. I know that sounds cheesy and ridiculous, but it's what you do, folks. You're never going to succeed just, you know, being all whimsy and flying by the seat of your pants. Figure out what you need to do. Develop a plan of action to get you to that part. Work that plan. Work the hell out of that plan. And you will get successful, and you will do what you need to do. So, Kitty said, don't put off what you can do today till tomorrow. You never know if tomorrow won't come. And, you know, that's really it. That's really it, Kitty, because, you know, stuff happens. People die. You get physical problems, mental problems. That poor girl at the store the other day, she got locked up. She's got real problems. She had a job. It's out the window. Living Ready 69, is real estate in a bubble in your area of Alaska? You know, everyone's going to argue about this real estate in a bubble, out of a bubble. There's no such thing as a bubble. It doesn't burst. It doesn't explode and everything goes to nothing. Real estate prices go up and down based on what's happening in the economy. Sometimes that can be very local, like up here in Alaska. We're seeing some decreasing property values in the underlying land, not the homes, but vacant land. And this is a byproduct of the fact that all you guys in the lower 48 are enjoying really low fuel prices right now. So a lot of the development that's going on up here in the North Slope has been stopped or slowed. A lot of those guys have been laid off, so they've headed down to South Dakota and the oil fields down there, and that's depressing our market. It's a temporary thing. It's going to turn around. It's going to come back up. Not to be cheesy or coy or whatever, but as a real estate broker, I get paid to sell property where the property goes up and property goes down. I make a whole lot more money if the properties go up. Just the nature of it. I'd much rather sell $1 million properties than $10,000 properties. But up here in Alaska, I have sold properties for $5,000. In fact, right now I can sell you an acre for $10,000. You can buy that. It's off the grid. It's on the road system, but it's off the grid. In the woods, you'd have to clear woods and start and build yourself a place, but you can do that up here in Alaska. The other thing is, don't ever give up. Lately, I've seen some of our creators actually in this genre kind of giving up. They're frustrated with what they've been doing in their life. Things aren't working for them, and they give up. And let me tell you something, folks. Nobody fails until you quit. You can't possibly fail anything until you quit. You're going to have setbacks. It's not going to work the way you want it to do. Maybe you change the direction to achieve your goal. But as long as you start working towards something, you're never going to fail. So whatever you do, just don't quit. Hold the line. Do what you got to do. Push it through. And there's been some times in my life where things have gotten really tough and really bleak. And, you breathe in and out, and you get up in the morning, you go to bed at night, and you push through. And things get great at the end. So anyhow, a little talk about some upcoming videos. I talked about this a little bit. I went out and set a trail cam with the four-wheeler, so I'll have that video coming up. You'll show you a little bit about my property. I run to the back corner, back to the back 40. So you'll see some of the footage while I'm running the four-wheeler. I don't know how you guys will like this or how you'll react to it. It's a little bit different than everything else that I've been doing, so I'd like to see some response in the comments. I took my Aspire and put it on my hat like I do, and I took it and I went to the grocery store. We have a little grocery store here called Cubby's. It's an IGA store, and I didn't need a lot, but I just kind of walked around and looked at some stuff. And so I was interested to see what you guys think about that for a video. I know when I was researching going to Florida or coming up here to Alaska, sometimes it's just the mundane things that are interesting to folks. What's the price of milk? So anyhow, I just walked through and I thought I would take a video through it. And Gabby says she never felt taller than on your hat. Okay, guys, I'm 6'3". So the camera was located about right here. So it was 6 foot 2 inches off the ground. And for those of you that are short, probably a little different perspective for you. When I go to the farm market, I had to kind of duck to get underneath some of the tents and stuff. It's just the way it is. So, all right. And, okay, I shot the skeet barbecue. So we've got that coming up. Northern Lights. Somebody asked me if I could videotape the Northern Lights. The Northern Lights were out yesterday, but I was running into a technical issue. Man, in fact, I've been fighting technology this entire week. I really have. My computer maxed out. I tried to upload some video out of the little GoPro camera, and it wouldn't take it. Just wouldn't take it. So I looked and I found out that even though my computer's got a 3 TB hard drive, my 3 TB hard drive was full. So I've been doing all kinds of stuff trying to download and back up and clear off. And anyhow, I've been fighting technology. So I didn't have the camera available to go out and film because I couldn't clean off the memory card. So we're supposed to have good Northern Light activity this evening. And it's a clear night. Hopefully I'll get some Northern Light footage here pretty quickly. So you'll get to see some of that. Angela Werner says, sounds good. Neat to see some prices. Cool. All right, good. Then I'll try to do that. I see somebody got bumped. Thank you for doing that. You guys are awesome. My wrench handlers out there. I got Teresa and Amanda out there. Well, you know what? If my son Carl would ever get on there and make a comment, I might turn him into. Well, didn't I do that? Didn't I make Carl a moderator? I don't remember now. Anyhow, and the last thing I'm going to talk about in my list here was the construction. I don't intend to keep putting it off. I just haven't gotten to it. I've just been busy, acquiring toys, getting tires, selling real estate. It's been pretty busy. Oh, Big Bear, you want a wrench too, buddy? Set user as a moderator. There you go, Jason. You're a moderator. Now Jason's going to go wrench somebody. Kitty, watch out. Wait, is Brad on here? He might just wrench Brad. Anyhow, so those were kind of the things I wanted to touch base about, and this half of the video is going to be brought to you by this Chinese hot. Bad joke, I know. I'll get over it. Don't worry about it, folks. I will move on, okay? So where are we at? Now it's comment time. Who's got a question for Grandpa, and what would you like to discuss? Nobody, huh? Well, that figures. How far are we behind stuff? Let me touch my nose and go down. Yeah, about 16 seconds. Okay. Maybe a little more than that. Jess brings up a question about tacos. Oh, there's a good thing. We should taco somebody tonight. Who do you guys feel like tacoing? You know, this may seem strange, but I really think old Brad at Big Family Homestead needs to be tacoed. What do you guys think? I'll wait for that to come around in the feed here. Okay. Who's not here? You work with surveyors, Grandpa, in your real estate work. Yes, Uncle KK, we work with surveyors all the time. Surveyors are few and far between up here in Alaska, and they're expensive. I got something in my nose. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep doing that, but something's bothering me. We had a surveyor up here, and we just wanted him to do this little small spot up here, and he wanted $10,000 just to come out and shoot a line around about a 5-acre property. I just was ridiculous. So, have you ever made candy, jalapeno, cowboy candy, or cowboy crack? No, Bandana Gamma, I have not done that. Yeah, okay, Brad's here, so we can't taco Brad. He blew that. Thought we'd throw him some love, but apparently he's trolling and just sitting back there listening. So I'll let you guys come up with something. No questions. Okay. Well, let's see. What was new and exciting this week? Got the four-wheeler, did a video about that. Got new tires on the truck. That was a bit of an ordeal as usual. Swine 1 had Grandpa a Kleenex. Yeah, I probably got something hanging out of my nose, don't I? We don't use Kleenex up here in Alaska. We're old school. And cheap. These are a whole lot cheaper than Kleenex. And they're so soft. Works really well. Did I get all my wood in? Yes, Teresa, I got 2 cords of wood piled up outside. I'm got firewood. I'm good to go. Now I got to do some splitting and make some stuff. How deep does the snow get where you live, Grandpa? Addicted, it gets to be about 4 feet here on the ground. What part of Ohio am I moving to? Lancaster, Ohio, to be near my son. Four-wheeler does not have a heated seat, so I'm going to have blue balls, I guess. How is your solar setup, and how would you suggest people set theirs up? Minuteman, I don't have a solar setup. I'm on the grid here. Solar is not a good choice in Alaska. We tend to consume a lot of energy up here in the wintertime. In the wintertime, we don't have much snow or much sunlight. How do you make bacon? Yeah, there's my son. There's my boy. You know how we make bacon, Carl. And we'll be doing some when I butcher my hogs here in another couple months. We'll make some bacon from it, and I'll do some videos about that. Doc, when I get to Ohio, I'm thinking about either a John Deere or a Kubota tractor. I want to get something in the small compact size. I've had the great big ones before. I'm really not going to need that for what I'm going to be doing. Are we able to grow anything during the fall in Alaska? Kitty, we had frost 2 mornings in a row. Last 2 mornings in a row, we've had frost. Grow season is over here. Are there Amish in Lancaster, Ohio like there are in Lancaster, PA? Yes, Bandana, there are Amish in that area. Not as much as Lancaster, PA, but there is some Amish in that area. So we want to go for a ride, live feed on the 4-wheeler or Whirlybird. You know, Gabby, I would love to do a live feed from the 4-wheeler, but I would exceed the range of my Wi-Fi. And unfortunately, you can't do live feeds with a cell phone, so I don't know how I was going to do that. In fact, I took the laptop here outside. I was going to do this live stream outside, actually, but the sun's so bright I couldn't see the screen. So I could do that maybe, but I wouldn't be able to answer any comments or anything. I wouldn't be able to see anything on the screen. It's just too bright outside. When I leave Alaska, am I going to start to wear shorts? No, Teresa, I'm not a shorts kind of person. I did wear shorts when I was down in Florida because it was just that hot. But no, I'm not much on shorts. I don't have the legs for it. My legs are all beat up and nasty, so shameful amount of knee skin will show. Yeah, and not to mention, you know, other things that hang a little lower than they should. Sugar Creek, Ohio has the budget, the Amish newspaper. Okay, I didn't know that, Beth. That's good to know. Good to know. I get the feeling like there's something here I forgot to do. For the life of me, I can't remember what it is. Don't you hate when you get old and that is that way? There's a big community in Sugar Creek. Yeah, there is. Husband scratched of Missouri on moving to, he now is either New Hampshire or Ohio. Just thinking of poor Bass. What's wrong with Bass, Teresa? I wasn't aware that Bass was having a problem. I'm not that old and I'm in the same way. CRS disorder. Can't remember. Yeah, right? You having a senior moment? Katrina, RAH just subbed your channel. Okay, well, I hope you subbed mine too. Are you gonna show her shameful knee skin? You are not gonna show her your shame. No, my knees don't need to be out in public. Okay, well, Old Ways was late. Hey, welcome, Old Ways. Glad you made it out here. Yeah, Lancaster's kind of an interesting little town. It actually has my favorite rooster. You know, I'm all about eating healthy and preparing my own food and what have you, but a sinful pleasure in Lancaster, Ohio, there's a little fast food. Well, not really a fast food, kind of a sports bar called Roosters. Best chicken wings in the country. Absolutely the best chicken wings. They're my nemesis. I go in there and get a dozen chicken wings every time I'm there, sit down, have them with a beer. Nice lunch. Of course, it's a good thing I don't live there right now because I'd be eating them all the time. Bass lives where the weather is getting bad from the hurricane. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. So he's down on the coast? Yeah, my soon-to-be ex-wife's down in Florida Keys. So I wouldn't wish anything bad to happen to her, but you know that brand new 2015 Ford Mustang I bought her, I'd laugh if it sank. Yeah, guys, hit the thumbs up. I don't know where I'm at. I can't see the thumbs up from where I'm at, but yeah, hit the thumbs up. I don't know that really matters all that much. Brad says the wife disagrees about roosters. All right, well, them's fighting words, Brad. We'll worry about that later. She and I'll go there. Hey, they have other things to eat besides the wings. Of course you sub. Well, thank you, Katrina. I really appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like Lancaster. It's a nice little town, and I like going down in the Hocking Hills. My family used to have a couple hundred acres down the Hocking Hills. Biggest mistake of my life was selling it. I'd like to get back down there again pretty soon, but we will have to see. We'll have to see what goes on. So, Big Bear, you wanted to see my hat, and now you're all quiet. Did you have any furs that you wear? Do you wear hats or coats or anything? Are you even still in here following along? I don't know. You guys are all being so well behaved. No one's giving me any crap about anything yet. And you know, Brad even asked you to give me crap, and yet, you know, here we are. I'm just enjoying myself. As long as he enjoys himself. That's what, and a fat buck. Yeah, I like a fat buck. Most direct and honest and polite person I know, and the same, just not always polite. E-polite. TBH. Who's TBH? Direct and honest and polite person I know. I don't know who TBH is. Let's taco Big Bear. You want taco, Jason? Will you show how to dress out a moose? JM, if I shoot a moose, I will definitely show you how to handle one. No problem. Let me go back up. I'm missing one. I was trying to let some people have a chance, but I'll resume the crap deliveries if you wish. Hey, Palmetto, go for it, man. James, yeah, you agree with me. Roosters is cool. Oh, to be honest, thanks, PP. Appreciate that. Won't you miss the ocean and the big mountains of Alaska? You know, Beth, just because I'm going to be living in Ohio doesn't mean I'm not going to be running up to the mountains and heading out to the ocean. I'm an advanced open water scuba diver. I've scuba dived all over the world, and I really enjoy that. So I will make a lot of trips to the ocean. I like to sail, so I'll probably buy a sailboat and keep one over in Maryland somewhere, maybe, so I can, you know, be over there in a day's drive, take the boat out. Might even keep a boat down the Florida Keys. I don't know. So, and of course, I will probably be making an annual trip to the Rockies to do a little elk hunting every year. Edward Turner, crap, crap, crap. There you go. Brad James is also from Ohio. I don't know where in Ohio, but he's also from Ohio. Yeah, I saw Bear said that he was here, but I didn't see any response from him about the hat. Does he have any furs that he wears? I can't imagine he would down there in the South. In fact, I was watching a video earlier today. Some of my favorite YouTubers, by the way, are Danny and Wanda over at Deep South Homestead. I sent them a message earlier today. I get a lot of people commenting on my channel telling me that that my channel and their channel are their two favorites. And so I was asking them if they have a similar response, and I was interested to see whether they did or not. Rusty, what's my number one tip to a new homesteader? Education, man. Learn, learn, learn. The biggest mistake I see with new homesteaders is going out and getting into trouble because they don't know what they're doing. Find another homesteader, hang out with them, spend some time, learn about your critters before you get them. Make sure you have everything in place before you get them in on your property. Learn about them. I see so many people, and unfortunately, you know, school of hard knocks, you have to kind of learn that way. But you just gotta give it some time. Do I mean President Danny and First Lady Wanda? Yes, Danny King for president, folks. Are moose farts loud and proud or slow and silent? Moose farts are slow and silent, and you know what that means, smelly. And moose are in a bad mood. Just so you know, moose are always in a bad mood. There you go. James is from Dayton, Ohio. I've never seen a moose that wasn't in a bad mood. I've never seen another breed of animal that's in as bad a mood as much as moose are. All moose are just walking around the woods ticked off all the time. Something about their life that they must not like. I don't know exactly what it is, but they're just not happy campers. Okay, we need to do a taco raid. Here's what I'm thinking, guys, and I'd like to see some response on this. See what you think. Let's go get Julie at Dirt Patch Heaven. What do you think of that? I don't think she's been tacoed in a while, and she needs to feel some love. She's been having a hard time. Their family's, in a rough way. They're having to move out of their house into an RV and rent their house out to make bank. So let me see your responses to doing that. I've seen some Alaska Trooper shows, and they avoid them as much as possible. They're mean. Yeah, Kitty, and just so you guys know and you're clear, dog, get away from the table. Just so you guys know and are clear, what's all the TV shows up here in Alaska are nonsense, okay? Anything that's a TV show from Alaska is just absolute nonsense. Okay. This part of the show is brought to you by French's jalapeno crisps. I'm serious, guys. These things are awesome. They're just like the onion ones that you put on your bean casserole. They're little crispy chips and stuff. But they're jalapeno. They're hot. They're good. Salty, crispy, and hot. Yeah, we have cops in Alaska, Jess. Alaska State Troopers is, it's sort of interesting here. In the cities, like in Anchorage and Wasilla, they have local police department. Outside the city, Alaska State Troopers take care of everything. The whole rest of the state. And this is a big state. Really big state. I just realized that Detroit is populated by tanned moose. Okay. All right, Doc, I'll go with that. Okay, no one taco, please, no one taco. Okay. How long a shot will you take on the moose, Grandpa? I hunt moose with a 45-70, and I like to keep it under 50 yards. I don't believe in, wish shots. If I can't have a good, quick, clean kill, I'm not going to squeeze the trigger. Hey, Big Bear said for a reason. We'll find out later. He says, no, something is up. All right, well, we're probably going to get crap from the YouTube police for tacoing people. Dog, get. So we will, just, Kennel. All right, Kennel, I'm going to lock you in there. You just keep messing with the computer stand, so you can just stay in there. All right, so no more tacoing for tonight. We'll go away with that. I'm a Pringles gal anyway. We had to be good. Well, no, we don't have to be good. We just can't taco. There's a big difference there. I missed a comment earlier. You guys were talking about mooses and stuff, and something flew by. Let me scroll back up here a minute. Guys, give me a second. Let me see if I can do this. YouTube picking all the video. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Taco Raid. Did the sponsor. Squirrels. Alaska State Troopers, huh? They have a lot of crime in Alaska per capita. Arnie, I don't know that that's necessarily the case. I will tell you that Alaska does tend to attract characters, people of all kinds, and they tend to be. We get a lot of real interesting folks up here. Independent, not wanting handouts or social services. We get a lot of tough old guys and women and ladies. In fact, my neighbor over here is 10 years older than me, and she lives by herself in a little cabin in the woods. She's a tough old girl. Sweetest, nicest lady you ever want to meet. Absolutely. Sweetest, nicest lady you ever want to meet, with a double barrel shotgun propped up next to her door. A lot of people come up here to Alaska because they think they're getting away from stuff Teresa's saying. Teresa, a lot of people do that, and when they get up here, they find out that they were wrong. We definitely is not a lawless state. In fact, it's just the opposite. Not only do we have really good response time from the Alaska State Troopers, but people up here in Alaska, almost without exception, carry guns. I mean, it's not at all abnormal to see people walk around the grocery store with guns on their hip. Most people do it here. They claim because, there's a lot of bears, and so they carry a gun for the bears, but a lot of people carry guns just because of the other people. And so you learn very quickly not to mess with folks. And if you mess with folks up here, you get shot. We do have a lot of shootings. I will say this much. There's been more shootings in this little community here in Alaska than I ever experienced living in New York. If that tells you something. But every time it's because some stupid argument would pop up and one person would shoot the other. And 90% of the time, alcohol is involved. Are there a lot of alcoholics up there, like they say on Alaska State Troopers? Well, keep in mind, anytime you see Alaska State Troopers, they're dealing with the dregs of society. There's a lot of good Christian folk up here. There's a lot of good folk up here, period, that do not drink. There are some folks that drink, and those are the people you're going to see on Alaska State Troopers, like anywhere else. You're going to find the druggies and the alcoholics and the people getting in trouble. That's who you're going to see on a show when you're watching Alaska State Troopers. But as a general rule, I don't think we have any more or less alcoholics or drug addicts in any other state. You're going to find that no matter where you are. Cockeyed Homestead wants to know what brought me to Alaska. Cockeyed, I had a beautiful home, 5,000 square feet, sitting on the banks of the Yellowstone River in Montana. Nice house. My wife and daughter decided they wanted to come up here to Alaska. My daughter was a dog musher, as in Iditarod. And we moved up here so she could have better access to the trails and better snow for dog mushing on. That was our original motivation for coming up here. Now, I actually like Alaska a lot. I like the land I'm on up here in Alaska a lot. I don't like being here by myself. In fact, I was talking to my son earlier today. I really wish they would move up here instead of me moving down there. He could find work up here, and this property would be awesome for the family. The grandsons could have a ball on this property up here. Absolute ball on it. But we'll see how that works out. Why are there towns that are dry and some that are wet? Teresa, that's the villages. Now, I will say out in the villages, they have a real alcohol problem. Very similar to the Native Americans in the United States, in the lower 48. For some reason, indigenous people seem to have a problem dealing with alcohol. They as a society, they weren't brought up with it. And so they don't understand it and don't have the mechanisms and norms in their life and society to handle that well. So we see a lot of alcoholism amongst the young native, the Eskimos and stuff up here. Very frustrating living out in the villages. It's hard to get resources. They want to live like people in the big city, but they're so remote. Everything's very expensive for them. There's no jobs for them. So we have a proclivity of drugs and alcohol out in the villages more so than other places. But, that would be no different than someone living in a remote area of Montana or Wyoming or what have you. It's the same kind of thing. So especially if they were on the, any of the reservations or something in the lower 48, it's the same kind of stuff. So, and drugs are everywhere. I will say that we just passed to legalize marijuana up here in Alaska, which is pretty cool. In fact, one of my customers, I will confess that a lot of my income this year is drug money. I'm a real estate broker. I've sold a lot of property to people who are either putting in dispensaries or grow operations to take advantage of the new laws legalizing marijuana. And I've been given some interesting tips, needless to say. I'll just leave it at that. So anyhow, yeah, marijuana is now legal up here. Grandpa the dope man. No, I used to smoke pot back in high school like everybody else did. Back in the 70s, it wasn't like it is today. Just leave it at there. Severe alcohol problem in the village I lived in. Very sad. Yeah, JM, there's a lot of problems with the villages. And, the villages in the lower or the villages up here and the Native Americans down in the lower 48. It's the same thing. I don't know why it is that I just found it interesting that both Native Americans and Eskimos have the same issue with alcohol. And as I understand it, it's just a society thing. They're just not accustomed to it and geared to take care of it. So when I was there, you were allowed to have 3 plants in your house as long as you had no children and residents. Yeah, PP. Yeah, right now it's just legal. Period. You can grow all you want. You can go out in your front yard and put a bunch of plants in and grow your own. You can grow all you want. You can have all the marijuana you want. I will say this much: we're already seeing a reduction in crime as a result of it. The crack and some of these other drugs are already starting to fade away, and we're seeing more people smoking marijuana. It's not abnormal to walk in the grocery store or store and smell marijuana on the person in line next to you or walking around. I will say this much: people on marijuana tend not to get involved in motor vehicle accidents and kill people like people on alcohol do. Um, People on marijuana don't get aggressive and want to fight. People on marijuana get the munchies. They want to eat something and hang out and listen to music. They're very peaceful. So I'm an advocate from that standpoint. JM says he was in Gulkana, went to school in Glen Allen. Oh, nice. Yeah. Only one country near the Rosebud in South Dakota is a dry county. Yeah, and so what they do up here, Beth, is some of the villages just go dry. They won't allow alcohol within their village. And so what happens is all the kids get on their 4-wheelers and snow machines and they go to the next village through the woods or across the river or what have you, and then get their alcohol there. It's pretty silly. In fact, we're going through kind of a weird thing here in the Matsu borough. The towns of Wasilla and Palmer have both said no marijuana allowed to be commercially sold within their city limits. And then the town of Houston, which is this little teeny tiny town up here, said, "Sure, yeah, come on, we'll legalize it in certain areas." And fortunately, a lot of the properties that I was dealing with in this little area, the Parks Highway commercial zoned area, was the area that they said could be used for marijuana. So all of those pieces of land in there are going up. In fact, I've got a guy right now getting ready to make an offer on a 2-acre property for $70,000 because it's inside of this area. So yeah, that town, Houston, is going to really do well financially in this next decade and going forward because they're going to collect all the taxes on the sales and development and growth of that industry. So yeah, I think the towns of Wasilla and Palmer really screwed up by not legalizing it. It's going to cost them dearly in a time when right now we really need all the revenue we can. Oil revenue is really drying up in the state. A lot of hard choices are having to be made up here with stuff, and so it'll be interesting to see where that goes and what happens. All right, so what do we got going on here in the chat? Jen, I'm a she, lol, sorry for the confusion. Okay, JM. I do not partake, nor will I, unless it someday for medical purposes, but it should be legal, period. Yeah, Rain, and that's the thing, I know people that have cancer and have glaucoma and stuff that seek, they get tremendous benefit from marijuana. There's some kids up here in the neighborhood that have, they get seizures and stuff, and the marijuana stops it immediately. So I think there's a very definite reason why you should have medical marijuana. It's a great product for medical purposes. And, I don't see it as being any worse or better than alcohol. And I certainly abused alcohol most of my life. That's where a lot of my weight came from, was drinking beer. So, see, Palmetto knows what he's talking about. Cannabis sativa and cannabis indica. And I think there's something to do with male and female plants or something too. I don't know all the details of it, just kind of what I was hearing some of. So, yeah, the gateway drug fear mongering. Yeah, that's nonsense. That's like saying beer is a gateway drug to rum. No, I enjoy drinking beer. I don't enjoy drinking rum or, like earlier I showed this. And to be honest with you, I did a video with this. All I did was touch it to my lips and go down. I didn't really drink it. I'm not a real big rum fan. I'm not a real big, I used to drink some tequila. I would much rather have a beer than any of that. So the idea that, marijuana is going to be a gateway drug to something else that's just nonsense. That's not going to happen. Brenda said he used to chat with a lady from Wasilla. Cool. I lost a dear friend who'd been on chemo. Her husband went to the medical marijuana route and is still here. Yeah, chemo is pretty severe. I mean, you're dumping a whole big chemical compound or cocktail into yourself that kills a whole bunch of stuff, including parts of you. Sativa is an upper indica couch lock? I don't know. Where's your bullet placement on the moose for a clean kill, Grandpa? James, I go for a heart shot. Moose, I go for a heart shot. Oh, I don't know. It depends. If I'm really close, I'll take a headshot. I'm not much for, mounting on the walls anymore. I used to do a lot of that. I have a lot of taxidermy. I got a bunch of deer and elk heads and stuff like that putting on the wall. I'm kind of over that now as I get older. So I wouldn't mind taking a headshot and preserving the meat, not ruining that rib meat. But generally speaking, I go for a heart shot. Again, I like to keep my shots really close. Sometimes you'll get a lung shot. I aim for the heart, and if I miss the heart, I hit lungs. So that's usually the best approach to take on this. All right, well, looks like we have wasted yet another hour here talking to Grandpa. Is there anything in particular anybody wants to have a conversation with or about? We can talk about marijuana if that's what you want to talk about. We can talk about moose hunting. We can talk about the videos I did this week. We can talk about Big Bear having another insomnia club tonight. Black market equals free market. I don't know what you mean by that, Palmetto. Black market's not a taxed market, so I guess in that regard it's free. All markets are really a free market. It just, whether or not you're paying your taxes to the man. Where did everyone go? Everyone's still here, Teresa. 96 people watching right now. What were we up to? Have we lost a bunch of folks? I thought 96 was a pretty good number. Sherlock Holmes visited private opium dens. Okay. No doubt help with his cognitive reasoning. Sometimes you got to park the brain in neutral for a little while to get it to work. I'm here, just had to check something. Okay. Yeah, see, Amanda, you are as bad as I am in that regard. I have trouble texting or typing, big fingers. Grandpa, do you hunt bear? No, what, Jay? I usually have clothes on. Warm clothes. Yes, I have hunt bear. I've killed bears before. I prefer black bear. They're better eating. I like to render the fat. Makes the best lard for baking, making pies and stuff. But, yep. Sherlock is not a real person, Beth. Really? Sherlock Holmes was never a real person? I didn't know that. Marijuana was the gateway to Doc's childhood, huh? Well, you got I got big pickle fingers. Actually, almost maybe cucumber fingers. Gateway to the destruction of my childhood. Good night, all. Good night, Doc. We'll see you later, buddy. All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and call it here tonight? I think Big Bear is probably going to be doing a Insomnia Club live stream after this one. If you want, you guys can check that out later on. He was a character in a series of books. Nope, he was fictional. Okay, well, there you go. I didn't know that. Sherlock was based off a real person. Okay. See, I thought he was a TV show on NBC or whatever. I know better than that. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and call it here. I'm going to wrap this up, and we're going past the hour mark. I still have to get out and do some feeding. I got some chores I got to take care of. And I'm actually going to take the four-wheeler and the rifle and run out to the corner of the property and sit out there till dark, see if I can get a moose. So I'm going to do a little moose hunting for a bit. That's why I'm all dressed in camouflage. So we'll see you guys later. In the meantime, you guys have a whole lot of fun. Be a lot more videos coming out soon. I really appreciate all the love. The channel is building up quite nicely. I think I've topped 900 subs, heading towards 1,000. Hopefully, I'll have that pretty quick. And I just want to say thanks again to everybody for all the love that I've been feeling from everybody. It's really great to have so many supportive people in my life. I really enjoy it, and I'm glad you guys like my videos. I will keep putting out newer and better ones all the time. So we'll see you guys later. Thanks, and be good.